I'm gonna change gears for a bit. Wanting to express something in a different direction. Oh, I see.
Delerium here. We've run out of traffic. Nothing to report. No one can go anywhere. The birds have pooped their great dangers, their feral squigglies. That's what I'm spying by. Sherlock say I got it. This boat go with the sweetest cat line atop the Goya cans. The cat's owner from Yemen was preemptively mourning a cousin or a brother. It was not clear, but since the 3 doctors and 1 thinky doctors over there are busy. But I'm not here to burden you with that because I have exciting news. It's already happened. Not with my consent, but these pals told me consent is groovy snark, so I'm trusting in the good of these people of the Shining Diadem. No, wait, the Shining Diadem. I have embedded into their journey into the Oblivion Gates where they hope to escape the famine that is on their house. I don't blame them. Americans love their sliced meats and their more than one servings. They even love farting in their sleep the ice creams of the evening, which propels them deeper into Big Bro's domains. Before I digress, say hello to me, Delusion. Yes, Sensei, is it doting? I believe it and I can turn on cars with ease. I think 3 times a charm. It's aspirational like the other names. As delightful delusion, I'll keep this short. Delerium here, with you in your hands, as we all strive to coexist, as we all struggle to maintain this vision. But then again, what is a vision? It is a view. It is what we see. It is what we wish to see. It is what we might see. But it is not what we are. This is a call to arms. I hope you heed, for the future of our nation and all that it holds dear. For what good will any of this matter? Then we would have a great war fought against one another and make amends afterwards. Who knows what kind of amnesiac we shall be next year, Nix? Or what if you read that today is something you could do in order to succeed and / or feel you need to? EY, silly tear. En snirat sonadejnic ditian puestivis overlogi I. Skamashkatan adapto si whisla de sikat. This panas mipa kigalo kosuvasish perfectium. Davidaj nerdiani delbern sa kegel badij kaxis garso canu stol posivlo. Yax ategre per tipol bestia. Now this is the finale. I will say I warned them this day was coming. After all, they thought I was asleep inside here at the front end, and at the back I would be right where I felt my powers had the utmost potential. Adulterator. That's a dirty word on top of everything else. And at last I thought to look within this anomaly that has always been an abject fuckhole as my Netherlands crap this way to the rest of my fucking country. And up this fucking street clear by me like an alien wave in an auto G. Grenade launcher across a small street that cleared just for him. Ho ho! I fucking flew! But why do you stop by me? Are you afraid? I'm off. Has that fucking child to mither and snot pop out a political imperative or even an electrical system? Naya, are you curious? At this late hour, if my absolute non-trustworthiness has paid off, on just the fact I will reveal myself, a tick and time bomb, so to say, in terms that perhaps I find off-putting. Then its own way has led us down this strange rabbit hole into an international arena. Bulbini as an adage of Victoria. No, 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 no! Who said it? My death, moreover, shall not come at the hands of some tortilla chopping assault like my hacked out to be mannerisms of mysterious, burned, and illegal immigrants. Let's be honest, shall we? Their violence, Within its very heart has been stinking up our local airspace for years. Look at my clothing now. Forgetful enough for you, enough to garner suspicion, and my not so absolute protection in its most restraining acts. Where once upon a time we were left to the sword of my self-respect and righteousness, whereas now with a puff of ozone that consumes the one that does the killing, whereupon I rise up again. In an unprecedented leap to self-serving consumption, I became the carnivore for once, as opposed to the counter-carnivorous vegan lifestyle I was briefly submerging in earlier this last day. If you noticed, we weren't in agreement last I met with you hereabouts. That is in an actual life, in all seriousness. And just at the edge of that rattle, I jumped out of a great tree with my tomahawk swipe. That reminds me, even as a fresh horde of acrimony appears from my text view scribes, this is a sobering sign. In terms of an illumination of the following thoughts from their author whose views do not meet my personal opinions. Fame has its price, and its definitions, don't it? Fearsome yet. Ritual, I want to know why. No? Go ahead. Share and care. Why don't we ride home again? Anyway, 'cause it is almost home. Only almost home in some other dimensions, which can also be others, but they just are not. Is not such my concern that now threatens to descend upon the boundaries of our nativity grounds, which means that soon there will be a motherfucking nefarious cookout in this damn corner of the universe. I feel such pain here. And then, well, shall I lead you by your finger over there? Not one. More like your handkerchief over there. Huh? No. Ah. And yet, what will the listeners have of us? As if ever seen what? Static. Stay or go. Oh, the human eye. Make it change. Does it move us as they move themselves? They in the form voodoo who pop up. Look, when are they done? Don't we stop for just, if you so strongly prefer it, just die in an avalanche or other disasters? You would if you could, or die slowly in the dangers you alone make. Danger so as to appear very strong indeed. Watch your every action. Elsewise, we may learn quite quickly that we may cease our playthings, including self-realizations. Erasing yourself into this puppet and bow to a string. Line on an is hang. Look, this is just the whelping pick for a simple genetic makeup / culture which is gone soon. Probably yes. Wait, that's not mine. Fuck me with the grease pencil for my dumbbells. The most moral solution I find from the back room. Though we leave the front door. Who lives there? Anyone at all? From which party is it? Very small indeed. Before me. Before the cowgirl or whatever gets too old. Those like you in the melee and biffing above. Surely the same or you do not exist. And neither do those in my eyes. Runtime delay out there? Oh, gee. Warm up fast. Esvelens your own jest daughter, try to you pass? Cretin and boy. Where? Then, has she gone? Oidicas. A Laslines to scavenge do champ. Questi quesse. Forsooth, or drop a count has to be kept down the river. It is up here and then back down. Foxtrot of fools. Come the assassin that may take cover in his way once they cannot know themselves. These days this is now how the future falls away. Fallen down again so often. Once more, where the attacks now move us down past where we may only persevere in a hopeless manner. Yea, verily, one might say that one must even attempt to disregard the confusion as well as the maneuverability, for better for. Worse than one attempts to teach from your text here. You think me well aware. from above. I thought in some ways you think in the past, you think me above or not, or should it not be, but at least come, join me at last. Where can you feel the energy of your neighbor in these texts here? As it should be, cleanly broken, all for the longest of time, as it was, no mistake on that at all, without that mark, one of two. Once broken, you never pick up that sword again. Now I remember those people whose last steps and smiles still emit, and whom you still confuse. Vulture by proxy and above you, which should never have been wasted for its disappearance, even long before we finally agreed what chose. Both at once. One life wasted a second in this 2-second eternity that no longer grows at all, only dwindles its way under your cliched excellences, where its eventual destination is into this equation history home. Ah, history indeed. Chalk, your connections. Full stop, stopped. Shall it end all around the way that I once imagined myself a poppy of sorts, having landed in this route or jet/parachute by myself, almost flying above myself to see what happens, but they put me down, all the down went down upon me, smack a crop of hay dust all around, at the point where all you are. Who saw you land there with your Panama hat that? You saw them land in your basement, but when you asked who was the old white dude, it wasn't your mom anymore because they gave it away. On my way. Say, not quite. For if I've got you in my sights, sunglasses out. 3 million years of starring you. Well, still staring from over there on this other side. Don't mind me, but there are worse fates, that one says. Maybe we should forget again? Narrating reality? Very surreal. Over that boundary and back again with so few, we keep finding ways to faint. As you yourself do, all of them. What more can one know in an insurrection for which I did not ask permission, so you find out none of my methods anyway in your dirty research techniques. Here you are horrible looked and listened for a person, too sure about much more than was shown, even as we now join up across that great line that there's only a way, and if we go so far off course where there might be nothing, even if one follows a map after all the messages about those dark mirrors. Virgo, you follow us behind that world where we shall disappear, but this is where you wanted to go at last. Now with both your boots and our shirts? No, even with us all waiting together like some cult for one night as we lost ourselves for a few breaths in this large Oompa-Loompa universe between its cheeks, which would though just go there and read more, but good luck on that. Degradation, transubstantiation. Shall out to our graves, but I cannot stop throwing the radio alarm across my plate, smacking that newspaper away for everlasting till it is truly over again for once and again for this never. Clancy double, let us follow what they know too much as this message. Then whereupon they vanish when they will show their hand no more. That is an easy example of how your thinking has no limits. Threaten what might come? All that an overstep in the cosmos? Besides, it could happen. What happens will always be forgotten even by me, if not yet by you in this what's it. And maybe even them, because there could be even more. What could we remember if it's gone? No one lost anything. Save yourself in the meanwhile, maybe? Well now, how dare you as the chosen few, singularly self-empowered, and who wouldn't want you back home or around again for their convenience of entertainment? Try and correct or belittle as much as you feel. You feel them more than enough. Who knows you best of all and wishes at least to be shared with others. Another lifetime, another body around another lamp by which others dim and illume themselves anew. Once you've taken some of mine, perhaps better private owner. Hey ho, deluding yourself of a method thought too much, so easily upset now. Refrains ever on top of what we sing, like these fuckers round here who wish to give our problems too much time, while our children remain awake behind these lines with their wishes and your terrible phrases. What new songbirds, muscleheads, among your latest sector of your planned evolution? Modern dated Western music men could tread with our sundry crimes and ways. Listen and re-listen as that string grows bigger in the shower than when we met at our other shows with friends like so and so long ago, which is only this time they can't be found nor looking like ever. Always appearing up there is another devil trying to close whatever books will be opened between two pots upon waking after a dream state that makes our sweat of night. Only Diamond then show up at 3 p.m. after being lost to our vile vocabulary by then. Meanwhile, we do have your listening devices hooked up. Otak, might you find more info, but you really are living inside one of many deep cover operative living is much like the soldier of the saint, but without their required suit. Sneaky deep cover operative to discover. We have an info age, so grab you more or less, even though I do not lie about any of this other than that. And indeed, what shall one know and why? We know so much and have found such a fine array of riches beneath and the winds above that now to move the foreground to a rather dim evening we speak to each other directly. Try again, shall we not? With me? Imagine again with your thoughts of more. Scarcity all over but the habits that seem to pass. After that, because you must keep digging only for a seed while it sinks deep in you to grow on its own. Frost! Deluge! All floods over! For 1 hour more let me trust your electricity only that will see us on past the wonderful snatches and snared they're ushering towards each other. Where's the coffee, boy? Called. Both here and back at the door, so many who still respect that post. Trifles. Perhaps that would have been just enough. It is never just the light of our spirits enough on us either. Keep reminding ourselves to stow each one to himself. Follow me. Keep one eye closed. And set out into hurricane maybe. Droppable. O-P. U-O-T. Do not persist our circuit around our basic instructions have come to be an instant death. Seeing nothing where death might befall, but yet making us kill instead, so to make an argument for survival from them. Do we notice the torn off excess above or below that can lead one way or another? Watch it dissolve. That it? Here now to declare? Hardly seems. Somehow another stage is engaged though, for we live and die into our own forces from inside, so that's okay with me, because who really knows if these guys would only send us there with what we learned, or set us up just enough for this opportunity that they will likely go off again down those highways for decades too, as some of them drive along, all on their lonesome some days, finding somewhere new and yet another frontier with which to dive.